All right, well, I was listening to a report on YouTube, and it had a speech of Donald Trump here in the U.S. Probably one of the possibilities of the next president of the U.S. He may end up getting in. And what he was saying, always has to be a vehicle of something coming by. He said that he would open up all the national lands and all the wilderness to human development. He thought that humans had the right to do this, and that nature was on the wane anyway. He might as well finish it up and just remove all of nature and just make it all humans. Now, that's about the stupidest thinking you could do. That's just not thinking, because the planet needs nature, and we need the planet to survive. And if we destroy all of nature just for one person to develop land, to put hotels and motels and all this garbage on it, and oil drilling and that sort of thing, mining, that's more important than nature. I can't understand how people on the right can think like that and care less about our natural world. But let's go up and do a video and see what a couple more studies and reports have come out with, and it's not pretty. Okay, new studies by the UN. Climate indicators off the charts, says the UN. The rich nations' policies are a death sentence because they're too slow. The UN Secretary António Guterres says we must pick up the pace. He says refusal to halt fossil fuel expansion amounts to a civilization death sentence. We must decarbonize the global economy. A 2022 report has detailed how record high greenhouse gas levels are causing planetary scale changes on land, ocean, and in the atmosphere. Away, all these mosquitoes. Measured concentrations of the three main heat-trapping gases, CO2, methane, and nitrous oxide, have never been higher. The WMO says last year's global temperatures saw a 1.15 C above pre-industrial levels in 1700s. Since 2015, we have had the 8 hottest temperatures on record, despite the cooling effect of a rare triple-dip La Nina. Now, as you know, I've heard a lot of scientists say that we're past 1.15. We're actually at 1.2 C above pre-industrial. Some people like to think it's way above that, but science doesn't show that yet. And as you know, I tend to go with what science says because I believe in science. The WMO notes ocean warming rates have been particularly high in the past 2 decades. The WMO says the rate of global mean sea level rise has doubled between the first decade of 1993 and 2002. That's 4.62 millimeters per year of ocean sea level rise. Now, of course, some places are rising faster than others, and that's because our globe is not a stationary ball. Some parts of the land are rising, so that they rise a little bit slower than the ocean is rising, or they're falling, so you have faster ocean sea level rise. The WMO says sea level rise will persist for thousands of years. Look at the Arctic sea ice extent as of right now. As you can see, we've been through some record level low sea ice extent this year, and right now it's starting to come back to where the lowest it's been on record. But it's still, we're seeing an enormous amount of ice cap melt, glacier melt all over the Antarctic and Arctic, and also in the mountains of the world. Are seeing vast glaciers melting and causing sea level rise to ever quicken. Unfortunately, because scientists are saying these factors will continue for thousands of years from now, even if we took and got rid of all the CO2 and fossil fuel we could, it would still continue to rise for quite some time. But maybe it wouldn't rise so fast that we couldn't adjust to it and try to move our food crops indoors to where we could control the temperatures and we wouldn't starve to death. But as on track for right now, we're headed for a massive starvation and a massive extinction event if we don't do something and do it now. Every single science group is telling us that, and nobody who pays attention to science is saying anything different. The only ones that are saying anything different are the non-scientists and the people who take right-wing talking points as science when they're not. We as people must get together and do something about this. Our each individual habits to a combined effort worldwide. We must get rid of fossil fuels at any cost if we are to survive, and that's just the way it is. So unfortunately, we've had a lot of noise doing this video, and the new camera setup, which should be here in about a week and a half, will have a new microphone which is directional and will take out a lot of the unwanted noise that we've been suffering through for years on this channel. So it should just pick up my voice, and that's about it. Hopefully that'll be here in about a week and a half. I appreciate any comments on this subject, your ups and your new subscribers, and until next time.